Okay. And it says we're recording. Okay, so before I begin the interview about your article, I was just hoping to get like a little introduction from you. Just kind of tell us who you are, like why you're doing the research that you do, anything you'd like to share.
Sure. My name is Jiarui. I am a PhD candidate at the East Asian Languages and Civilizations Department at the University of Chicago. I mostly focus on digital platforms and online social interactions in East Asia, especially China. I am very interested in online nationalism, and I've studied several major social media platforms in China, and I'm currently doing a digital ethnography on amateur voice actors on voice chat platforms in China for my dissertation.
That's so interesting. And that kind of perfectly kind of takes us to the next question, right? Which is about your most recent article, which was published to the JLA. Would you be able to give us a description for a public audience that summarizes your most recent article?
Sure. I will try to say it in like more narrative way.
Sure.
Yeah, so this article is trying to answer one question, which is how does a piece of media text do ideological work for society? So this case study that I used in the article comes from a Chinese animation that's known as Year Hair Affair in English. And in this animation, hardworking Chinese people and the Communist Party are all portrayed as cute white cartoon rabbits who are fighting against other animals like the American bald eagles, the Russian bears, and the Japanese chickens. And when I was beginning to work on this project in 2018, this cute rabbit had already been recognized as a symbol for patriotic use in China. But later on in my research, I realized that for some social media users, this figure of the white rabbit can also be an indicator for toxic male users. And that was very curious for me. So I kind of took a pause on the symbolic association between the rabbit and patriotic youth. And instead, I asked, what created such connections to begin with? Who needed these associations? And what are the semiotic resources that those people draw on to create such connections and make them a social fact? In the sense that everybody, like people tend to believe that, right? So as I was tracing these questions, that I noticed that a lot of discourses that associate the rabbit with the patriotic use are coming from the more mainstream discourse, which are associated with the state, and they tend to draw on spectacles from this specific interface of Danmu, which is like overlaid live comments flying across the animation image. So I became very curious how these platform interface contributes to this kind of we call intertextualization. That means like the singling out of the sign and make it transferable into other contexts, and the enregisterment of these signs, meaning like these signs become consistently recognized to be standing for something else, be it patriotic youth or toxic man. So that becomes my focus. And then I started to find, all those parties, all those active actors who are doing those things. Like I said, mainstream media and the platform that offers the streaming service for the animation. They are the most prominent figures who want this animation to do something, namely to justify or prove that there is this prominent youth patriotism among Chinese young people today. And this is also a dynamic process. It's not just they say and that they said, right? And it is also kind of curated by the animation itself. The animation, as I show in the paper, is also kind of aware that it is going to be viewed in this way. It is going to be streamed on this platform and going to be overlaid with comments. So it does a lot of things to kind of invite users and to feed the viewers like the specific words they should use or the very tokenized words that is very convenient for them to put on the comment section and to be overlaid. So in a way, this is a collaborative process, right? You see the viewers, the platform, the interface, the animation text, and the mainstream media that report on these things. So after I figured all those aspects out, I turned to the other platform, which is more like Twitter. It's called Weibo in Chinese, and it is like really about how people there associate the profile image of the rabbit with toxic man or male chauvinism. And that is when I realized that the way the platforms put the distance between the media text and digital activities is what does the difference, what creates the difference, right? So with the demo interface on Bilibili, the streaming service, the interface itself makes the user's comment very close to the animation text itself. And that makes it, and also it's anonymous, right? So it creates a generalized, very abstract idea of patriotic use. And it is created by this overwhelming visually dense image. Whereas in the Weibo context, the profile image is it becomes an index for the user. It is a one-to-one match. And users can use that profile image to do stuff on the platform. Namely, some of them would troll others, or some of them would make comments that others might read as male chauvinistic. And that gives those activities, because they are more closely attached to the person than the animation text itself, and it is often also more closely attached to the ongoing events in the world, like on Twitter, right? So that distance, the difference in distance makes those activities to be interpreted differently. So overall, this article is about how digital platform users, media text, and observers of Chinese internet work together to use, symbols created in these texts to make much larger social persona, I would call it, like either a patriotic use or a toxic man. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was a really good summary. And the perfect word that I think you used in the article was like juxtaposition. Really interesting to me to see kind of like that collaboration within the platforms and how that would affect the enregisterment and the contextualization as you've described and defined, in the article and in this interview. I just thought that was like, how could like a little cute rabbit go so
Yeah.
far? I thought that was so, so interesting. So thank you for like writing such a great article.
Oh, thank you very much for reading it so closely.
Yes, I
And it
thought,
is indeed very, very fascinating that things work in this way.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to ask one more thing. Would there be any sort of social media or any place that like, readers can check out more of your articles or any future works that you'd like to share?
Yes, of course, I'm on Blue Sky, and I don't yet have a professional website, but people can reach out to me on our department website. I'm always happy to answer any questions or have any kind of debate or discussion over email. I'm very easy to be reached via email. Yes.
That's great. Yeah, you were very communicative with me, which I really appreciated. So, thank you for like offering that support to readers and to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.